Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? I hope you are all well and good. Today is Friday and our last class of the week. Today we are going to discuss Surah Al Baqarah verse 21 to 22. It is from the themes Allah and His created world. As previously we have studied Allah and Himself, and yesterday's theme and today's theme and three more themes will be based on Allah and His created world, when Allah is talking about Himself and His created world. Surah Al Baqarah is a Madani surah. In other words, it was revealed after migration. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Surah Al Baqarah verse 21 to 22. Okay, if you open the book of Cambridge O-Level Islamiyat textbook for paper 1, Hamad ibn Nashat, these verses are on page 12. So, يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون الذي جعل لكم الأرض فراشا والسماء بناء وأنزل من السماء ماء فأخرج به من الثمرات رزقا لكم فلا تجعلوا أندادا وأنتم تعلمون. Translation: O people, worship your Lord who created you and those who came before you, so that you may have the chance to learn righteousness, in other words, taqwa. Who has made the earth your couch and the sky your canopy, and sent down rain from the sky, and by it forth fruits for your sustenance. Then do not set up rivals unto Allah when you know. So, O people, O people, it is Ya Ayyuhan. In other words, all people, not just Muslims, but all people. Ya Ayyuhan Nas, O mankind, in fact, O people, O the whole of mankind. What is Allah telling us to do? U'budu rabbakum, worship your Lord. U'budu, abadat, worship Lord. Remember, we've mentioned it so many times. Who is the Rabb? The Rabb is the one who planned you, the one who created you, the one who is providing you sustenance, and the one who is going to take you to your end. Allazi, He who, khalaqakum, He created you all. He created you all. وَالَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِكُمْ, and those people min qablikum, before you. So He created us and everybody who is with us right now, and He created before us also. Who created you? Ya ayyuhan nas u'budu, people worship Alladhi, He who khalaqakum, He created you, me, you, every who is listening. Allah created you and those who came before you. So many nations we hear of that came before us. We hear of like different ummahs of different prophets, like the nation of Nuh, the nation of Lut, the nation of Ad, Thamud, today are visible. Or the Stone Age, we've heard of the Stone Age. Like even if there are only bones left of the previous people, it is still that Allah created them also, and these bones will be recreated again on the Day of Judgment. Now, why did Allah create mankind? Why did Allah create you, me, the previous people? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you adopt taqwa. Now, what is taqwa? To learn righteousness. Like we usually use the word taqwa times and we don't even know what it means. righteousness. What does it mean? Taqwa is love and fear both present in your heart. Love for Allah in your heart and fear for Allah in your heart. They are both present in your heart. In other words, you love Him so much that you don't want Him to get angry. You love Him so much that you fear that He might get angry if you do something wrong. That's what makes you stay away from anything bad. So what do you learn? Allah created all mankind to adopt righteousness, the love for Allah and the fear of Allah. It is a beautiful feeling, in fact. Taqwa is a beautiful feeling. Now, الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ فِرَاشًا. Allazi, He who ja'ala, He has made, lakum, for you all, for all of mankind, al-ard, the earth, firasha, farsh means floor, tika, or a couch, something that you can lay in. He has made the earth your couch. Doesn't it look beautiful? Like just looking at this picture, don't you just want to go and sit somewhere there? So Allah has made such this beautiful earth as a couch for you, as a floor for you, where you sit and you don't fall off. Everybody knows that the earth is rotating around its own axis, and imagine if you try to rotate a ball, after a while it stops, or it will end up reaching in another direction. But even though we are rotating around the earth is rotating around its own axis, we don't fall off. And then not just rotating the axis, we're also going around in our orbit, and even then we don't fall off. Imagine like the that move all the time inside the earth. Imagine if all the time we would be facing an earthquake. How would it feel? I mean, we wouldn't be able to walk on the earth if the earth was always shaking. So if Allah made the earth your couch, that is a blessing. And imagine the lava that you have inside. I mean, the core of the earth. Everybody knows it's fire and molten lava. Imagine, like, have you ever put water in a pot with the lid on, and when it starts, the lid starts moving up and down, up and down. So much heat inside the earth, but we don't start moving up and down like that. And if that was like that, we would never be able to live here. But Allah has created the earth as a farsh, as a floor, as a couch, as something you can easily rest on. وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَاءً. You can rest on. Have you ever gone to mountainous terrain where you can see farming? It looks so beautiful. And He made the sky your canopy. The sky is so beautiful. Imagine if there was nothing there. Imagine if every day you would go out in the open and there would be nothing there. I mean, you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see the blue sky, the beautiful clouds, the sunny day. How would it feel? Or remember a day when, all of a sudden really black clouds come and all of the sky all of a sudden turns black. Imagine if it stayed that way all the time. The sky as a canopy. I mean, imagine if we could see the planets huge, and wouldn't it be scary if we could see them really, really huge without the sky's protection? It would feel like they're going to fall on top of us. So Allah has made the sky as a canopy. The sky, it's also a shelter. How is it a shelter? Ultraviolet rays of the sun. There's an ozone layer also for you that protects you from ultraviolet rays. So, and we all know that the 7 layers of the atmosphere, they have their own specific duties and formations for the comfort of mankind. You can see how the skies are covering the earth. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً, and he revealed and he sent down rain from the sky. وَأَنزَلَ, and he revealed or sent down, min, from as-samai, the skies, ma'a, water. What water comes from the sky? Rain. It rained yesterday, but the sun is out today. Beautiful rain. I mean, recently, the rain has been scary because lightning, and lightning bolts are scary. So, like, we haven't been enjoying that much of the rain, the recent, storms that we've had. But usually, when rain comes down, like if you remember the monsoon rains, in which there's not that much lightning, it's just a whole lot of just rain, a shower of a rain. How beautiful is that scene of water falling on your windowsill or on the floor outside? Beautiful. Imagine when last week it didn't rain and we were waiting for it to rain. So yesterday when it did rain and the weather was really cool, we enjoyed yesterday. Nobody had their ACs on yesterday. We were all enjoying the weather with just a fan on. So it brightens up your day. It is also a source of food for the earth. فَأَخْرَجَ بِهِ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ رِزْقًا لَكُمْ, and then he brought forth fruits for you. فَأَخْرَجَ, then he takes out bihi, with it, with the water, min, from الثَّمَرَات. Now thamarat in Arabic, in Urdu, when you read for thamar means fruit in Urdu, but in Arabic thamarat means anything that is grown as vegetation is thamar. Clear? So thamarat can be vegetables, fruits, and your crops. Clear? It's not just fruits. In Urdu, it's just fruits, but in Arabic, thamarat, anything that grows, clear? Food crops on it. Could be wheat, it could be maize, it could be fruits and vegetables. Clear? So you can see these beautiful, nowadays everybody's having fruit chart after Sari, so you can just when you have your fruit chart today, just look and think that Allah has provided you so beautiful, like apples, and Pakistan is blessed to be producing the most best fruit. Like we have the most best apples and mangoes and cherries and plums, everything. We don't have to import our fruit. It's all present in our country, alhamdulillah. Brought forth for you fruits with that rainwater. And thamarat, why did I bring this in? Because thamarat includes vegetation also. It's like in there, a carrot there, come there. So all these is thamarat in Arabic, not just fruit. So Allah rizqan, فَأَخْرَجَ بِهِ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ رِزْقًا لَكُمْ, rizq, sustenance for you, for your eating, so that you can live. So suppose somebody says, oh, I don't like fruit, I don't eat fruit, but then you eat vegetable. Okay, somebody might say, I don't eat vegetables though, I don't like vegetables, but even the pulses that you eat, that is also your rizq that has been produced via vegetation and via rain. So like you can't say, oh, I don't eat vegetables or fruit. The dal that you eat, or even if you don't like dal and you only like meat, then the chapati, the roti, the bread that you eat is from wheat, gandam, and that is also thamarat. Why do you set up rivals? Then the question is, فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا, so do not you make lillahi, for Allah, rivals, وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ, when you know. Rivals, why do we mean, why are we, like, if we have somebody, the importance that should be given to Allah, if we are giving that something else or someone else, then we are creating a rival. Have you ever been in competition with a class fellow in school in which you are competing for grades, and so, like the first place or the second place in class in your exams. I mean, even if you're best friends, there's some place where because of the competition, you start like getting agitated with each other as well sometimes. That is just a common example, so you can understand that you don't like it when somebody tries to compete with you, or somebody tries to be equal to you. This is Allah we are talking about. There is no equal to Allah at all. We all know that. And when there is no equal to Allah, then when people do create equals to Allah, that is setting up a rival, an enemy for Allah. A bad competition. There is no competition. Competition are between two like beings, but there is no one like Allah. So if somebody is worshipping something else other than Allah, that thing is a rival for Allah. Did they provide all this? Like some people worship these things, some people worship Jesus. Why do they worship them? Were they the ones who provided the sky as a canopy and the earth as a couch? Do they provide the rain for vegetation? Do they send the rain to drought-stricken areas? No. Theme. The theme reflects Tawheed and Allah's created world. We're talking about Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. He is the only one who you should worship. He is the only one who created you, and He is the only one who created the people before you. And He is the only one who made the earth, and He is the only one who made the sky. He is the only one who sends down rain. He is the only one who brings out vegetation with that rain. He is the only one who is providing you with rizq, sustenance. And He is the only one who should be worshipped. And Allah's created world. When we're talking about His created world, we talk about Allah created you, Allah created me, Allah created people before us. Allah created the heavens, the skies, the rain, the samarat. Realize He created us and the generation before us. This helps us to realize that He created us and the generations before us. As the generation before have left, we will also leave, and the next generation will come. And why did He create us all? All to adopt taqwa. He wanted all of us to adopt taqwa, to worship Him, to love Him, and to fear His anger. And because of fear and love, stay away from bad deeds. This earth is created as a home for mankind. Like what you have in a home, if you look at your house, you have floor and you have a roof. So this, if the earth is a floor and the sky is a canopy, it's a roof. So that means this earth is a home for mankind. He created favorable conditions for mankind to survive on earth. What favorable conditions has He created for us? Like we have 7 layers of the atmosphere protecting us from the sun. Imagine if the sun was too close, we would all burn to death. Imagine if it was too far away, we would all freeze to death. So He's created such a favorable condition that neither does it get too hot or neither does it get too cold. And the rain that He provides. Imagine if we only had the water that was in the sea and it would never rain. Then all the water of the rivers and the seas would all be used. Finished by now, but Allah has that ecosystem that in which it rains or it snows on the mountains, and then the mountain snow melts, and then it comes into the rivers, and from the rivers to the sea, and then again it is evaporated from the sea. So these are favorable conditions for mankind to live on earth. And then imagine if we were never allowed to grow, we weren't able to grow vegetation, samarats. How would we survive? Just on animals. I mean, eating meat for 2 days consecutive gets really heavy. I mean, sometimes you enjoy it, but when you get to our age, like if you're eating meat for consecutive 2 days, after like 2 or 3 days, you're fed up of it and you want something, veggie type. No one is compatible to him in his creation. No one. How can we set up a rival for Allah? How can we set somebody in competition with Allah when nobody is compatible? Because his creation is unique. I hope you will watch that, the time lapse of the universe. Importance. Mankind are asked to use their intellect. Use your intellect. Think that Allah created you, created the people before you. He has made so many things for you. This is a well-planned universe by Allah for man to discover. Like, for example, the gravitational force. Allah was the one who created that force. That's why we don't fall off the earth, right? So if man discovered the gravitational pull after so many years, or all the physics, the forces of physics, the centripetal force, the centrifugal force, all of these forces, if they were discovered by man so many years afterwards, Allah had created it. It was created originally by Allah. It is a well-planned universe. Every planet is going around its own orbit so that they don't collide with one another. That is Allah's immaculate plan. Allah has created everything immaculate. Then how can any other be worshipped in His place? Allah is the one who created this immaculate world, this immaculate universe. Then how can you worship somebody else? How can you bow to somebody else? How can you pray? How can you give sacrifice for somebody else when they have not created a single thing? Recognize your Lord. Muslims should recognize their Lord in these verses. Once you recognize your Lord, Ilyas, इधर से वीडियो आ रही है. Once recognized, it leads to His obedience. Once you recognize your Lord, it will lead to His obedience. When you recognize that He is the one who created me, He is the one who is giving me all of these luxuries in life and facilitating me in life, then only He should I be obedient to. Then you would submit to submission. What is submission? Have you ever typed something on, when you have forms on the internet and then all of a sudden it says terms of I agree, and then you have to submit whatever you're doing on the internet. Once you've submitted, can you get it back? No, you try your level best, you can never get it back. So once you've given yourself to Allah, you've submitted to Allah yourself back, then you have to be obedient to Him. And willingness to work for the love of Allah. When one recognizes their Lord, then they love Him so much that they won't pray salah, dragging their feet. They with the best intentions, with willingness, and not as a burden. Allah created all for mankind, and created him for Allah. In other words, Allah created all for mankind. Like everything that is on the earth is created for the comfort of mankind, and in return, Allah created mankind for Him, so that you worship Him. Okay, theme. This is the written theme that you're lucky to get. These two verses have multiple themes: Tawheed, Allah's relation with His created world, and Taqwa. It is a Madni surah. Allah elaborates the reason why only He should be worshipped. For He created us and the generations before us, and to attain taqwa and righteousness. Allah narrates how this earth is created as a home for mankind by providing a roof, canopy as the skies, that protect us from the harmful rays generated from the sun, and the earth as a floor to stand on, as one does not fall off the earth even though it is rotating around. He has created favorable conditions for mankind to survive on earth. It is mentioned in the Quran that mountains act as nails in order for the land not to shake. Allah provides sustenance for all creatures on earth, so He is only worthy of worship, and no one is compatible to Him in His creation and planning. Importance. This theme is an eye for mankind if he uses intellect, if he uses his aql. Muslims realize that as He has created everything perfect, all the forces that science has discovered, gravitational force or the ozone layer, etc., are well planned by Allah for man to discover. When Allah has created everything immaculate, then how can any other take his place? Even the circle of life, the ecosystem, are all part of His divine plan. These all lead one to recognize their Lord, and once recognized, it leads to His obedience, submission, and willingness to work for the love of Allah, which results in a true Muslim. Surah Rahman states, from amongst your Lord's bounties, which will you deny? In other words, Allah has given you so much, what can you deny? Muslims learn that there is no denial to all. He has been gifted in life as Allah created it for him and created him for Allah. Thank you. Okay, so any questions? You can read through the theme from the page 12 to 13. Clear? And if you have any questions, you may ask me now. I will send the theme in your assignment in Google Classroom so that you complete the theme. Any questions, dear? Any questions? I will paste Google work right now into the Google Classroom so that you can do your work for the remaining 30 minutes. Clear? Walaikum Assalam, Umar Ahmed. I just saw this now. So I'll send your work now so that in the remaining that you have of your class. Clear? Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa